Hello, my loves. I cannot wait to share this this episode, you guys. I've been teaching a manifestation group on the side for about 6 weeks now, and we just wrapped up last night with our last call. And then I had a client session today with a private client who's a postpartum mom, and it just clicked. We are manifesting postpartum, and I'm going to tell you what we're manifesting and how you can see how that's happening in your reality so that you can feel more empowered with what to do with the hard parts. You're going to learn manifestation basics, and you're going to feel how they apply directly to the trenches of motherhood and your daily life. I can't even wait. Let's get started. You're so powerful. Let's do this. Welcome to the Postpartum Coach podcast, where we embrace our needs as moms. We learn to lead ourselves first, then our families, and where we create our own healing from the inside out to find our way to the work we were meant to do in this world. I'm your host, a fellow mom of 3 and a certified life coach, Lizzie Langston. Can we just talk about how cool this topic is? I love my podcast. I love what it's becoming. I love that I have unleashed all the parts of me, you guys. I used to only reserve manifestation chit chat for business. But here's the thing. Postpartum moms deserve it all. They deserve a complete and full and total understanding. My biggest goal, hi, I'm Lizzie. If you're new here, it's so good to have you. I hope you're new. Welcome. Even if you're not new, I love that you're not new too. My biggest goal though, you guys, in postpartum work is that what I really want to target is the sort of the freak out, the confusion, and the complete blindsidedness that makes the symptoms and the difficulties we experience postpartum so devastating and just world shaking, how they just flip your life upside down. All of a sudden, we're throwing around words like diagnosis, medication, childcare, and these are new for us. And some of us literally have been happy people our whole lives. We've never identified as somebody with mental health issues. And so it can just be completely alarming. And you can find yourself thinking, am I ever going to feel normal again? And in my program, which by the way, it's a 12-week program and we start March 1st, 2023, that's the next cohort. And in my program, this is the first thing we really help you do is we help you get out of the freak out reaction mode to what you're going through. And we open you up through both compassion and safety in a sisterhood, but also understanding. I think that as soon as you can start to connect the dots between your mind and your body and between what you've experienced, whether it was birth trauma or loneliness or having to go back to work after maternity leave, whatever is going on for you circumstantially, that's such a cool word. I help you, I feel like we all do it together, but my curriculum helps you connect the dots for yourself. And by the way, you get access to my curriculum as soon as you join, and you don't have to wait till March 1st to join. The earlier you join, the more deep your roots get to be in this work for the time that we're together once our live calls start March 1st. So you can always go to the link in my show notes. I will always have it. It's always in the show notes, but you can go to LizzieLangston.com/program to read up on the basic outline of the program. We even have a video. My amazing assistant Felicia just added a little video of a peek inside of the actual video module. So if you're curious, please go over to LizzieLangston.com/program and take a little gander. I've also updated all of the copy, but you can actually see what we're studying during the weeks. So we break up the process into different weeks, and it's really, really clear. I wanted to share one testimonial with you before we dive in because I feel compelled to share this. Of course, I'm going to be marketing my own program on my free podcast, of course, but the reason behind why I market it is because it's literally changing women's lives. And not only are they saving their marriages, because sometimes our partner, with our partner postpartum, things can just get wonky, especially if you had birth trauma or if you tore or anything, sex can just go out the window. And so many things can change with our partner. And then whether we don't feel connection to our baby or we just feel completely overwhelmed, or a lot of times our nervous system can start bringing up wounds from our childhood that only come up for the first time once we have a child. It's like, it's the biggest mind F ever that nobody tells you about. But when you have children, sometimes if you had a lot of trauma or even a little bit of trauma in your childhood, all of a sudden your parenting feels strange because your inner child is like, wait a second, you can't parent. I've never been healed. And so all of a sudden your nervous system has like all these symptoms that it's throwing and all these requests from you. And you're just trying to like raise a baby and you're like, what the hell? Like nobody told me this was going to happen. So I got to read to you a couple of testimonials so you can just get a glimpse of what's possible for you. Okay. So this first one is from Tiana. I'm going to kind of skip around. It's a little longer, but it's so good. So listen here. She went through the Postpartum Freedom Program. She did the 12 weeks. And then once you're done with the 12 weeks, you get lifetime access to the curriculum. And I also have a Postpartum Freedom graduates group that you get to be in on Facebook to just continue your healing and connecting with these amazing high caliber women who are all changing their lives. They're going to this lifestyle of like regulation with their nervous systems and presence. You know, it's the types of friends you want to hang around. So let me read Tiana's experience. She said, postpartum was the straw that broke the camel's back. I had no more wind in my sails. And in the foggy, bad dream that it seemed to be, I realized that the unhappiness I felt had been an undertone in my life for several years, but that I had just been pulling myself up by the bootstraps. And now, postpartum, I could no longer run from myself. But even despite that realization, I had no tools to help myself, and no one in my support circle had tools to help me either. I was angry and lost, and I felt so alone and knew I needed help making sense of the world around me and orienting myself in my new life I felt very disconnected from and very trapped in. I felt Lizzie could teach me the tools to be able to help myself. And I want to also mention, just as a side note, Tiana had birth trauma as well, that she had a lot of anger around. And so we had to work through that as well. Okay, continuing, she said, at the beginning, it felt so foreign, but with the support and example of Lizzie and others in the group, I learned how to sit and just be. I began to notice my own patterns. I learned how to rely on and support myself rather than seeking from others what they could not give to me. Self-love, self-compassion, self-awareness. As each week progressed, I noticed my communication improved with my husband. I began to feel so much calmer when my baby cried. I could release emotions without them taking total control of my day. And then suddenly one morning, I felt different waking up than I had any other morning in the past 3 years. I woke up happy. There is so much ahead, but I feel confident that the tools I am learning to develop in Lizzie's program will continue to help me resolve emotional buildup from the past, help me be more at peace in the present, and look toward the future with more faith rather than fear. I don't know where life will take me, but I have learned that if I love myself and ask myself what I truly need, everything will be okay. I can do my best, and Christ will truly make up the rest. If you have any doubts at all, this is still her words, about why you are here considering joining Lizzie's program, love yourself. What do you need? Seriously, if you need a hand to hold, this group gives you many. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, Tiana, for those words. People do not have to leave me testimonials. I do not require them. I offer it as an option for those who want to give back to the legacy that this community is leaving on the world of postpartum women. And Tiana, I know you probably hopefully are listening because you are awesome like that. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for your words. And I know they've inspired people here today. So you guys, literally, you don't have to do this alone. And you can wake up happy. You can actually you can literally take control of the response that's happening in your body. You can understand it. This does not have to be something that tears you apart, that breaks your identity, that breaks down your marriage, that infiltrates your motherhood and steals your presence and steals your joy and your precious memories during this beautiful phase with your children. You do not have to settle for that. So go to LizzieLangston.com/program right now. The sooner you join, number one, the more money you will save. Right now it's $1,666. It's going to be up at $2,000 in another few weeks. And so you can save money by joining early, and you can start studying up on the curriculum and become one of the energetic leaders in the group and just really dig down and have some roots with this stuff. And then the last thing I want to tell you before we dive into our episode is that you can leave me comments on the curriculum. So once you're in there, you do have access to me. You can comment on my videos and I get an email every time you comment and I can reply to you. So you and I have a little chit chat relationship. Also, of course, if you're in my group, we're just going to be talking, like probably in the Instagram DMs or in some way I will be reaching out to you because I just love all my people so much. So if you're looking for some more love in your life and some clear tools and community, we've got you. And don't worry, the community really is safe. Okay. This topic is unreal. So before I can tell you about how postpartum and manifestation meet, the first thing you need to understand is that you're probably manifesting and you don't even realize it. So let's talk about manifestation. People think of manifestation. What do you think of when I say the word manifestation? Okay. People think of like woo, woo, woo. They think of like really seeing without believing. Maybe you think of the book, The Secret. Manifestation probably has a very mystical, magical element to it when you hear about it. It depends on what your experience with it has been. I want you to think of manifestation as an interaction with the universe and nothing else. Okay. There are laws of how things come to pass and how things are created. Things, in my opinion, are created, spiritually created, and then physically manifested. So the word manifestation is the part where what you've been energetically contemplating on, focusing on, desiring, conjuring within your body and your heart and your mind, it meets you in your 3D reality, your physical, concrete, masculine reality. Okay. As women, we just have magic when it comes to manifesting. The thing is, most of us don't really consciously do it. Most of us are unconsciously manifesting a lot of the time. I will say a question I get asked a lot when we talk about manifestation, and I just want to get this out of the way because I know this podcast is full of women who have really big hearts. Which is like, okay, so if I can manifest anything I want, how come there's children in Africa who don't even have clothes on their backs and food to eat? Like, how is this fair, this whole setup? And I want to tell you that I don't know. I don't know the answer as to like why you get to be in America or in some other country where you have your needs met, you have resources, you feel privileged in some way, and some other people don't, or they've never even heard of manifestation. They're never going to be able to learn how to manifest themselves into a different existence. But I do know that everybody's journey is their journey for a reason, and that it doesn't serve anybody for us to not use our magic and our power and our ability to manifest in a conscious way, because we can use that to help others and we can use that to create wealth and abundance in a way that serves and blesses the world and leaves ripples and legacy in a powerful way. So maybe the reason, if I had to answer that question, is that those of us who do find out about this stuff and get to use it, we have work to do, and we're part of the solution for the problems that we see. So now, fast forwarding to the basics of manifestation. I got to take a breath. So I was talking to my client this morning, and she's not even like trying to manifest something specifically. I would say her vague things that she's postpartum, by the way. She's not like in my manifestation group, which is over now anyway. But she is like average mom, right? And she works as a teacher. She works a job. Her husband works a job. And together with their two incomes, like she just feels like it's not really the vibe she wants. And so she's like, in a vague, like broad way, she's just trying to manifest like a lifestyle of more abundance and more ease, less working, more money. Okay. Like that's probably a basic thing to say she's trying to manifest. She's also putting it out there that she wants to be like somebody who dreams and who goes after her dreams. And here's what I believe. I believe that before being postpartum, you are manifesting something. And whether, again, it's conscious or not, we're constantly dreaming. And some of us have more of a close relationship and an intimate relationship and a vulnerably open relationship with our desires and our dreams. Others of us get a little more foggy. We're like, I don't know what I want. I don't know what I dream about. And we tend to have a hard time going past like this moment or this week. We get really caught up in schedules. And so there's kind of a spectrum that you might be on, and everybody's in a different place on the spectrum of how much you dream and how close you feel to your desires. And in the work of manifestation, which we're not really doing on today's episode, I'm just showing you how it connects to postpartum. I just do want you to know that here's a clue I'm dropping, that in order to manifest clearly and powerfully, the more clear you are and connected you are to your actual desires and like the dreams that live in you, and the more you honor them and like let them come up and really spend time getting to know them and not judging them, the more safety you create with your own desires, the more powerfully and frequently you'll be able to manifest in your life. They're directly correlated. in my experience and in what I've seen and experienced in others. All right. So what I want to say is that we're probably all manifesting. Think about the things you want in your life. You might not have said, okay, I'm going to put these in a journal and I'm going to like put them on an altar and I'm going to like manifest them. You might, not that I really use an altar during my manifesting, I'm just thinking of random examples, but you probably have 5 or 6 things, or even just, let's just say like 1 or 2 things that you want to change about your life in the next couple years. Maybe you're trying to go from an apartment to a house, or from renting to home owning. Maybe you're trying to upgrade your car. Maybe you have this general sense of, I just really want to stop talking about my dreams and to start doing them. All right. Now, the thing with manifesting that I teach and that you got to know is that you don't always get to choose how the universe delivers what you want. That's really important for the parallels I'm going to make today between manifestation and postpartum. You don't always get to choose. Let me say it again. You don't always get to choose how, like the path that will basically turn you into the person that can do and have the things that you're dreaming and wanting. Does that make sense? So you can dream and want a lot, and the more serious you get about it, the more it will be delivered to you. But it's not just like, let's say you want to move to Hawaii. There's a lot of steps, right, that are going to need to happen before you can just pick up everything and move. It's not going to be like a free move to Hawaii, like win it on a radio show, like maybe. But even then, even if you were literally to win like a free moving service that will take your family to Hawaii, you still have to like find new schools there, pack up your stuff. What are you going to take? What are you not going to take? I don't want to make you dizzy with the whole list, because I have moved internationally. We lived in Costa Rica for 7 months in 2021, and it's a lot. So there is a process. Typically, there are a bunch of mini manifestations that happen that essentially tweak your energetic self and who you are into the person that can do and be and receive the things that you want. So people think about manifestation as having something, like I'm going to have more money, I'm going to have a house. And that's true, but that's the final step. Way before the having is the becoming. Okay, so the masculine approach to manifestation is just like the concrete thing that you're going to produce, and that is a part of it. But the feminine and the masculine work together when it comes to co-creation with the universe, which is what manifestation is. And the energetic shifting and upgrading and becoming precedes the actual having of the concrete result in your 3D concrete reality, like money or a house, right? So let's talk about the becoming. There is, I believe personally, there is a destiny or a life path for you. And it doesn't mean you don't have choice. I'm really big on making that distinction. I do believe in agency. I do believe you have choice. But I also believe that there's like a soul contract, essentially, that you've kind of made with this lifetime and this existence, something you're here to do, to learn, to become. And what I love about manifestation, when you're consciously manifesting, this is just an aside, is that you get to basically make it your full-time job to like become, which is a lot like the gospel of Jesus Christ, or like any religion that you might be a part of or spiritual outlet. You know, it's just, I just love the process of becoming. Who doesn't? Like our souls, this is a little riff just for a second, then I'm going to bring you back. But I heard this from Christy Avis, who is a manifestation guru lady and one of my mentors. And she said, our souls are constantly, well, first of all, our souls are made up of the same stuff the universe is made up of. Like we're created, all of us, with the same stuff, right? You believe that? You're on that board. And so the universe, we know, is constantly expanding. Like quantum physics tells us that the universe is in a constant state of expansion. And there is no contraction, it's just expanding. And so that's us. We are constantly expanding. Now, let's come back to postpartum. Sometimes you feel like shiz postpartum. Sometimes you feel like you're contracting. And if you think about a rebirth, which is essentially what manifestation requires and is essentially what often happens with women after they have a baby, there's this rebirth in them. There is a contracting, but it's only to lead to more expansion. So I don't know how it all works. Like, are we contracting sometimes? Actually, yes, but ultimately it's for the process of expanding. Does that make sense? So there might be contractions, but it's for an overall expansion experience. That's why we're here. And So just to review, we have dreams and desires, whether we're consciously trying to manifest them or not, they're in us. And the universe hears and connects with and energetically receives the signals of your desires, whether you consciously send them out or not. So prayer, for example, is a very conscious way to send out your desires to the universe, but you don't have to pray or even talk to God to be manifesting and basically telling the universe what you want. It just is. It just happens. You are literally a walking signal to the universe at all times. And I don't want to freak people out with that. I'm not here to be like, yeah, so if you're fearing that your kids are going to be kidnapped, they're totally going to be kidnapped. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying the vibrational state that you operate in communicates to the universe and is an energetic match for a certain reality and literally creates your reality and what comes into your reality and what goes out of your reality. So coming to postpartum, what I notice, like Tiana's testimonial for a second, just going back to that, she said for 3 years, I wasn't happy. And I'm sure that at some point in her consciousness, on some level, whether subconscious deep down or really conscious or somewhere in between, she desired to be more happy, right? And then she goes through postpartum. She has her baby. She has this horrible birth trauma. She's sitting there postpartum. She's miserable. She's totally clueless, how things have come to a head, and she manifests a teacher, Lizzie. She manifests somebody to bring in the tools. She's realizing she doesn't have the support around her. She manifests a teacher. She gets the tools. She has the transformation, and she gets what she really wanted, which was to be more happy. I guarantee you, if you're not happy or you're not fulfilled or there's something about your life right now that's not working, your past self made it this way. But the job of your present self is to create your new reality. So let me say that again. Your current 3D reality, the current income you have, the current health that you have, the current mental health that you have, is the creation of the energetics of your past couple years or however, I don't know, I don't know exactly the time frames, but it's past energy. So the current 3D reality you're living in is actually your past energetic creation, consciously or not. And if you want a new reality, your job is to start focusing on that reality that you want. And again, it doesn't just happen in one go. The universe will bring you little baby steps. Maybe you find a podcast, then you find a mentor, then you find a program, then you have a transformation. Now, what I love about programs, my program specifically, is it is a container created with the intention of complete transformation. That is my goal. We're not in there messing around. We're not in there fluffing and crying together and then patting ourselves on the back and going back to our lives and having the same problems. We are in there, first of all, to be loved and supported and to know that we are enough in our struggle. That is the number one. We just unjudgmental love. It's just completely, that is number one to me. And then when we feel like we can just be present with what is not working, the answers start to reveal themselves from your psyche and your subconscious when you start to feel safe in the group. And then if you pair that with my tools, it's a no-fail. I have yet to experience somebody that's come through my program who doesn't feel like they got what they wanted. I will say that I feel like every cohort I do becomes more powerful and the transformations are bigger as I tweak things about the program or I teach it a different way. I just become a better teacher all the time. And my energy is just cleaner, clearer, more powerful all the time. But the concepts are the same. They're unchanging. They've been in there. I've added some things, but they've been in there now for almost a year. Over a year. It's been 18 months since I created the first videos. And then I've added, a bunch as I've seen fit. So this program is for the transformation. If you are wanting to feel happier, to feel lighter, to feel more passion, more playfulness, more purpose, to feel like you actually can take life by the horns, it is doable. And maybe you I know for me, I resisted a chit chat like this because I was but that is who I am. I was so stuck in judgment about the fact that I wasn't operating at my normal functioning that I was like not really available to any help that was around me. Like I just was looking for fast answers. And I will say that is the biggest blinder you friend. Listen, the biggest like unseen thing by women postpartum that will actually bury you into this strenuous, like vulnerable, stressful chaos longer is if you judge it. Because here's what happens. When you judge yourself for not being able to function with your kids the way you want to, for not being as patient and kind and loving as you want to, I know you're judging yourself. I'm like, I know, because we all do it, because our brain thinks that judging ourselves is going to fix it somehow. It doesn't though. It doesn't. We have to learn that over and over and over again. And the universe will just keep holding that space and let us learn it over and over and over again. And we will suffer and suffer and suffer again. But when we judge ourselves, we pause the healing. And what we do is we look for short, quick fixes. And you will get what you want. If you want a short, quick fix, it will fix you quick and it will fix you very short. That's it. And then you'll be right back to where you were. And how many times do you want to do that? Over and over and over. Your poor nervous system the whole time hanging in there, your poor husband or partner, your poor kids, right? Like, what if you could have a one-time investment that you get for life where you can continue your learning and you can completely transform? Now, that doesn't mean that there isn't more work to do or things to kind of tweak as you get out of the 12 weeks, but this 12 weeks together is where we turn darkness into light. We literally twist the elements of our bodies. It's insanely incredible, powerful, sacred, and amazing. It's so sacred that there are parts of it that I can't even speak about. The power of women coming together is unreal. And you, my friend, were meant for magic. You were meant for more. And the evidence we have of that is the shiz you're going through right now. The crap you're going through right now, I believe, is an energetic upgrade. I believe is a manifestation of your deepest desires, which is to be a different caliber person. You are having an ego death. You are having a death and a rebirth, and it's what you wanted. I truly believe that. It doesn't mean it's easy. It doesn't mean it feels good or that you like it. It doesn't mean that it's not freaking you out at times. It doesn't mean that there are not sad, difficult, challenging consequences of this, that are rippling into your family and into your work life or whatever. 100% there are, and it's still going to be worth it. Come join us. Come join us. Go to lizzielangston.com/program. Take me at my word. Check out the page. Listen to what I have to say. Read the testimonials. Look at the video that takes you through the program and see how your body feels with it. If it's a yes, come join us. We start March 1st. Don't wait. The sooner you get in, you can save almost $400 by joining early. And then you'll get immediate access as soon as you pay. There are payment plans available, but as soon as you either make your first payment or pay in full, you do get access to the content for life, the curriculum. And then you're also going to be placed inside of a Facebook community of the cohort that starts in March. So you can start getting to know the other women, and you will have access to me there and also in the comments on the videos where I can answer your questions, and you can start learning right away and start transforming. This is where the magic happens, you guys. I'm so excited. March 1st couldn't come soon enough. But in the meantime, I'm going to keep sharing with the world about this incredible program. I love you. I honor you. I see you. And I know that you are meant for all the magic that you want in your body. And your body's just trying to help you get there. Your body's not working against you. It is on your team. There is a purpose to all of this. And you will see it inside of my program. Can't wait to have you. I love you guys. Thank you for being here on the podcast. Share it with your friends if it's helping you. Leave me a testimonial and a review on this podcast if it's helping you. We'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye. Hey, Lizzie here. I've helped dozens of postpartum moms just like you to manage their postpartum anxiety and deconstruct their postpartum depression. It's really easy for me. So go to LizzieLangston.com/program. The link is always in the show notes. And thank you for being here today. Goodbye.